This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Thursday, the 17th day of July in the year 2025. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. The Guyana Elections Commission today made it clear that employers are statutorily obligated to grant time off to their employees to vote at the upcoming elections. In a statement, the Elections Commission said while persons may be required to work or will be stationed away from their respective polling districts on Elections Day, their employers are mandated under the law to grant them time off to vote. GCOM explained that Section 81(1) of the Representation of the People Act makes it mandatory for every employer to permit every elector in his employ, other than those voting via proxy, to be absent from work on Election Day for a reasonable time for the purpose of voting at the election. GCOM also warned that there should be no deduction in pay for the time not at work or any other penalty. The Elections Commission said it's the constitutional right of employees to vote at the election, and as such, it is also their responsibility to engage their respective employers ahead of time to discuss the requisite time off and to obtain approvals. GCOM said failure on the part of any employer to grant such request constitutes an election offense. Under the Representation of the People's Act, an employer who directly or indirectly refuses or who by intimidation, undue influence, or in any other way interferes or prevents an elector from voting can be fined $65,000 and imprisonment for 6 months. GCOM is urging all persons to take note and put systems in place to ensure they are able to vote on Election Day in September. More news coming up in just a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. It can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Your own home is so much more than just 4 walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Let's jam! Pan Jam is back. Pan Jazz Concerts present Pan Jam in the Village on Saturday, July 26th at Park Rain from 7 p.m. Come out and witness Steel Pan Magic with live performances by Duke Ross, Guinness record holder Joshua Rebello out of Trinidad, Calvin Burnett, Nikita, Roy Stewart, Jesse Schultz, Ray Sparman, Clayton Daniels, Amjad Ali, and many more. Enjoy the Parkside Steel Orchestra and the Palm Groove Steel Orchestra as they clash and bring the vibes.
General tickets are $8,500 and $30,000 for VIP
and are available at all Massey stores nationwide and IBGL, Carmichael Street. Don't forget Pan Jam, Saturday, July 26th at Park Rain. This event is sponsored by Absolute Vodka, Massey Distribution, Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport, IBGL, Guyana Tourism Authority, Experiences, Potsalt Events, and Gabriella's PR Consultancy.
We voted for the PPPC again.
No, it's
It's time to renew the mission, to stay the course. The People's Progressive Party Civic's journey to victory continues. All roads lead to Albion Estates Road, East Berbice, Tarrantine. Sunday, July 20th, starting from 3 p.m. Be there to hear from President Dr. Irfan Ali, PPP General Secretary Vice President Dr. Barrett Jagdeo, Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips, and others. Guyana is on the rise with massive historic achievements in education, housing to healthcare, infrastructure to innovation. As the most trusted political party, we are transforming Guyana for all. Let us rally for the People's Progressive Party Civic's journey to victory. Sunday, July 20th at the Albion Estate Road, East Berbice, Tarrantine. Starting from 3 p.m. Vote PPPC. Forward together for a better Guyana.
Presidential candidate for the We Invest in Nationhood party, Mohamed, is accusing the state of political persecution after he was accused of attempting to obstruct the course of justice in a matter involving one of his party's activists, Bradley Sampson, known as Doggy. He was held for hours at a Ranville police station being questioned.
I don't know what is this. This is a clear case of political persecution. Clear case. I hope the Carter Center and all the different observers are taking note with what is going on.
Mr. Mohamed, in the company of his attorneys, turned himself over to the police at around 9:30 this morning. That came after a party of policemen showed up at his party's campaign headquarters in Providence late last night and demanded to speak with him. He was reportedly not at the location at the time, and the police later left. The Guyana police force, in a statement today, said a woman who was reportedly assaulted by Sampson, known as Doggy, on Tuesday, claims that she was detained against her will by armed security guards while at a campaign office on the east bank of the Marara. The police said that the woman claimed that she was instructed by Mohamed not to pursue the matter against Sampson and was offered $500,000 to settle the matter. But Mr. Mohamed has denied the allegations made against him, and he told reporters today that he only reached out to the woman to apologize on behalf of himself and the party, emphasizing that he is completely against violence against women. One of his attorneys, Damian De Silva, said even if the allegations were true, settlements are not illegal.
In cases where people reach out to the VC to settle a matter, that's quite normal, right? But the allegation is, in this case, is that he would have paid her $500,000 to not pursue the matter. Mr. Mohamed has denied all allegations at this point, but what I am saying is in cases where people reach out to the VC to settle before any legal steps are taken, that is quite normal. I am not saying that Ms. Mohamed did that in this case. I am just pointing out that in those circumstances, that is quite normal.
And one of the other attorneys, Sion DeJourne, echoed similar sentiments, telling reporters today that there is no real offense.
The allegation against him discloses really no known offense to law. The allegation, its length and breadth, is that he allegedly offered someone money, $500,000, to settle a grievance with a third party. Now, there is nothing nefarious about that. In fact, across the length of this country, courts would encourage parties. Y'all talk about it, y'all try to settle it.
DeJourne said after claiming that it had received a statement from the complainant, the police for hours were unable to make any contact with that alleged complainant.
We listened as the police called and called for 3 hours today. They called her phone, no answer. They went as far to go to her address. No luck. So this is a woman who the police claim gave a statement. But here she is, she's unwilling today to have a confrontation with my client.
The attorney said it is clear that his client is being targeted by the police and the government.
We have never in the history of this country seen a government so shiveringly afraid of one man. We've seen allegations of murder being pelted. We've seen allegations of rape being heaped. Allegations of drug trafficking, tax fraud, gold smuggling. I mean, there is no limit to the allegations, the lengths, the depths to which this government will go. It's frightening.
The presidential candidate was released from police custody just before 1 o'clock this afternoon without any charges or bail being required. He has committed to making himself available to the police should a need arise. But it didn't take long for Vice President Jagdeo to rubbish the claims by presidential candidate Mohamed that he was being targeted and discriminated against over last night's police presence at his party's headquarters in search of him. At the press conference this afternoon, Mr. Jagdeo defended the police, saying that the police were in their right to investigate a criminal act. He said from all indications, Mr. Mohamed has been linked to the act by allegedly trying to cover up the matter. Mr. Jagdeo said the public statement issued by Mohamed seemed to be in contravention to the statement issued by the woman, who Jagdeo said told the police that she was threatened and was held against her will. Jagdeo said the police presence at Mohamed's property had nothing to do with his politics, but solely regarding the incident.
The police are obligated by law to, if somebody does that, you're engaged in perverting the course of justice, to question the person. So they're saying because he is Mohammed now, he must not be questioned. The police can't get him. Looking for sympathy again, that they raided him because he's a presidential candidate, not because he was engaged in covering up the brutal beating of this woman who was seeking payment for attending his activity by one of his candidates who is still on his list.
The vice president maintained that Mohamed is not a threat to his party, the PPP, at the upcoming elections. He noted that if the police did not take any action in the matter, it would seem that the laws were not being applied equally.
And the police, if they didn't go, then everybody would say here, oh, you're treating him differently. You're treating him differently. He could do this and he doesn't get into trouble, but you let an ordinary citizen do this, then they will be in big trouble. It's a criminal act. And he's directly linked to it.
Mr. Jagdeo said the story reportedly relayed by the young woman is a horrifying one, and he believes that Mohamed's distancing himself from Samson was just a show.
This is a criminal act. So we just discovered, after he lied once more to say, oh, I'm a presidential candidate, look at how they're discriminating, they raided my headquarters, that the girl who was brutally beaten gave a statement to the police force saying that he took Doggy to his home after the incident, took the girl to his home, and then kept her there basically against her will. And when she tried to leave, they threatened her by showing her a gun, one of his guards, and saying, we know where you live.
As we reported, Mohamed visited the police station for a questioning earlier today and was released without any charges or bail being required. A battery of lawyers representing a Guyanese man who has been detained in Suriname is moving to the High Court to challenge what is being described as his illegal extradition to Suriname for a crime he knows nothing about. Raymond David, a born Guyanese who spent some years in Suriname, was reportedly arrested by 2 ranks of the Guyana police force and taken to the Rambelle police station, where he was accused of committing murder in Suriname. On the 19th of June, David was reportedly transported to Springlands police station, where he was allegedly handed over to 6 Surinamese police officers and transported in a boat to Suriname. Since then, he has been held in detention in Suriname. David was reportedly wanted in Suriname for questioning in relation to a narcotics case approximately 10 years ago and not murder. At a press conference today, his attorneys Texas Martin Eden Corbin told reporters that from all indications, David's fundamental human rights and the Fugitive Offenders Act have been severely breached, and they will soon move to the court to demand his safe return and sue for damages.
First and foremost, seeking declaration that his arrest, detention, and removal from Guyana was unlawful, the Fugitive Offenders Act, and should not be taken lightly. It's also a violation of his fundamental rights. We also intend on seeking a writ of mandamus, compelling the government of Guyana to use all diplomatic means and all diplomatic channels to let the government of Suriname know that this young man, was removed from Guyana's shores by illegal means. The court has made such a declaration that he should be returned immediately.
Corbyn explained to reporters that the procedure for extraditing a Guyanese is clearly outlined in the Fugitive Offenders Act. The act requires that in the case of extradition, a person must first be accused or convicted of a serious offense that is punishable to no less than 2 years in prison. He explained that extradition requests are channeled through the state, through Ministers of Foreign Affairs and Home Affairs, and then the courts before a final determination is made in relation to the accused. He said in the case of David, the Fugitive Offenders Act was completely breached, as no such procedure was followed. Attorney Dexter Todd said to compound the situation, David was never wanted for murder in Suriname. He explained that he was a person of interest more than 10 years ago in a narcotics case.
Every document, every station, every investigative arm in Suriname had been contacted through the legal team, and it was confirmed that there was never any such allegation of Raymond David being involved in a murder. Where did the police in Guyana get that information from? I believe they will have to answer that.
He said the legal team has done its groundwork and will soon move to the court to request David's safe return. The man's sister, Acacia Alder, told reporters that her family has been impacted by the arrest.
Our family is feeling violated in many ways because we are born Guyanese. We were born here. You understand? And my mother, she went away. She left for Suriname when we were young, and she brought us with her. So we didn't grow up in Guyana, but we are born Guyanese. And the way they treated my brother, the way they treated him is like, it's worse than, I don't even have words. It is impacting my family in a serious way.
The woman said she remains hopeful that her brother will be safely returned to Guyana.
Radhika, unhand me. Radhika, you touch me unappropriately, you know, Radhika.
Nothing to laugh about 16. July 26th and 27th at the National Cultural Center.
Me no want go Barbados because Barrett said it's not a flex.
Tickets are $2,000, $3,000, and $5,000.
Just a sexual harassment. Radhika, lose me.
Your own home is so much more than just 4 walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
New York City, summer is about to get hot. Saturday, August 2nd, SR Hamilton LLC presents Gospel Infusion. Featuring Samuel Medas, Psycho, Eddie Neblett, Sean Daniels out of Trinidad, Christelle Brandt, Sherilyn Maloney, DJ Kesta D,
Timothy Roberts,
and many more at the South Jamaica Multi-Service Center, 11402 Guy R. Brewer Boulevard, Queens, New York. Gates open at 4 p.m., showtime 5 p.m. Get your super early bird tickets for only $50. General admission $70. Pay more at the gate, and limited VIP $100 all inclusive. Come and experience the outpouring of God's grace Saturday, August 2nd. For more information, visit Gospel Infusion on Facebook and Instagram.
Washi. Hi people. Washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washing me use wash me clothes and I can say Wash your soap powder, wash clothes so nice. Wash your soap powder, leave your clothes color bright. Wash your soap powder, leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks for wash your soap powder, for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright, have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Wash your soap powder, wash clothes so nice. Wash your soap powder, leave your clothes color bright. Wash your soap powder, have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Stabrook Market.
The General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, Vice President Barrett Jagdeo, today announced that there is no guarantee that current government ministers will return to those jobs under a re-elected PPP government. He said new requirements are being laid out for the selection of the next cabinet. While noting that it is the president who selects the cabinet, Mr. Jagdeo said it is also important that a cabinet that works more for the people is put in place. He believes that whatever government team is chosen will have to align with his party's vision.
You have to look at performance, in my view, performance, suitability, skill, people skill, a whole range of factors go into this, having been there and chosen the cabinet several times myself. So these are important metrics that you use. And I expect that they will also be used in selecting the cabinet in the next term.
The General Secretary of the PPP highlighted a number of transformative projects undertaken by the current government. He said it will be important for many ministries and government agencies to be reorganized to deliver on the party's promises.
In terms of government efficiencies or efficiency, it doesn't necessarily mean the creation of new ministries, but it could result in that. But it's not our intention to grow the number of ministries. It is to ensure that work is done more effectively in a different way so that we can better serve the citizens of the country. And that may necessitate some reorganization.
Jagdeo said the reorganization should not be seen as any admission that certain ministries have not done well. He said, however, there is need for some things to be done differently.
We're constantly looking to see how we can do what we're doing better in government. And that is why law enforcement will change too. Like a lot of the electronic means of monitoring traffic and issuing tickets and a whole range of things, security features.
The PPP launched its campaign last Sunday and presented its candidates list on Monday with a number of new faces, including crossovers from the other political parties. 26-year-old Kendall Joseph from Tusineng village in the North Pacarimas, who was wanted for a double murder in the same area, was found dead today in the village of Jagdeo. Police suspect that he took his own life. He has been on the run since last week when a wanted bulletin was issued for him over the murder of two men, Clifton Thomas and Sylvester Thomas. That double murder occurred on the 11th of July at Tusineng Creek, North Pacarimas. The police said the man's body was discovered hanging at the back of his family's home this morning by a sister. The discovery was reported to the Jagdeo police station. 3 weeks after he was found guilty of raping a 6-year-old child, former president of the Guyana Teachers Union and educator Colwyn King was sentenced to 19 years in jail today. King was sentenced by Justice Simone Morris. Ahead of his sentencing, the 61-year-old opted to represent himself in court. According to court documents, the charge against King was filed following the incident which took place back in 2021. The prosecution laid out evidence of 2 acts of the sexual assault, which both take place when the young child was in isolation. On the 26th of June, a jury delivered the guilty verdict after deliberating on the evidence presented in the case. At the time of the guilty verdict, King was out on bail in relation to the charge. However, he was taken into custody and remanded to jail following that guilty verdict. This morning he appeared in court shackled at the hands and feet and was carted off to jail the same way. He was previously charged in another similar rape incident involving another child, but in that previous case, he was found guilty.
Turbo with a new look, new style, with the same great taste in the 250 ml can. Everybody run out now. Go and go grab one. Me charge up with a turbo 250 ml at your favorite spot. Wait sell. New look, new can, same vibes. Jinxing, energize up your life. Vibes up, work time, anytime we are turn up the party with turbo can. Turbo can, turbo can, turbo can. Now available in the new 250 ml can. Turbo energy drink. Charge up today.
The Edge series comes alive this July in Guyana. 3 sporting disciplines, 3x3 basketball, table tennis, and criterium racing. Teams from across regions compete for a total prize pool of over $2.5 million and the title of champion. The Edge series. Are you on the edge?
And I'ma do it again. Watch me.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyana is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyana's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyana has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall in the region. Suriname's new president, Jennifer Gerlings-Simmons, said at her swearing-in Wednesday that the country's government must ensure massive expected profits from oil and gas ventures, improve the living standards for all, adding fiscal discipline is desirable at every stage, Reuters reported. Gerlings-Simmons called on all Surinamis to get back to work and continue supporting each other through good and bad times. She said, and I quote, "Let us all work hand in hand, side by side, shoulder to shoulder, to make Suriname what we want it to be for us and our children." End of quote. Gerlings-Simmons believes that partly because she's the first female president, there is enormous pressure on her. But with the full support of her cabinet and all sectors of society, she said she's confident she will achieve positive results. She said, and I quote, "I stand here as a Surinamese person to embark on the path of change with the government and all other Surinamese people." End of quote. On July 6th, Suriname's parliament backed Gerlings-Simmons as the country's first woman president. Lawmakers backed her as president 6 weeks after the ruling party and its top opposition nearly tied in the race for legislative seats, leading to a coalition deal to install Gerlings-Simmons as president. Non-communicable diseases, NCDs, and mental health conditions will cost South America over US $7.3 trillion in lost productivity and healthcare spending between 2020 and 2050, according to estimations in a new Pan-American Health Organization PAHO report launched Tuesday. This figure, equivalent to the entire annual GDP of Latin America and the Caribbean, underscores an urgent economic and health emergency and the need to act now to prevent disease and protect development. These aren't just health statistics, they are fiscal alarm bells, said PAHO Director Dr. Jarbas Barbosa. She said, and I quote, "The escalating burden of NCDs and mental health conditions has become an economic emergency, perhaps the worst economic disaster in health," end of quote. The report, Major Storm on the Horizon, Health and Macroeconomic Burdens of Non-Communicable Diseases and Mental Health Conditions in South America, was commissioned by PAHO and developed with the analytical support of the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health. And finally tonight, international news. Days of record-breaking heat across large swaths of China pushed power demand to an all-time high in excess of 1.5 billion kilowatts on Wednesday, energy officials said, with temperatures forecast to feel like 50 degrees Celsius in some areas on Thursday, according to a report published by Reuters. A subtropical high-pressure system, which causes warm and dry weather, drove temperatures at 8 weather stations in the northwest and southwest of China to record highs in the last 2 days, state media said on Thursday, citing national weather authorities. The power system is holding up so far, said Chim Lee, a senior energy and climate change specialist at the Economist Intelligence Unit. He said, and I quote, "But the real test will come as the summer wears on, and there are still risks of potential power rationing," end of quote. Solar energy accounted for half of June's surge in power generation. Hydropower output nationwide was up on 2023, though still lower than the corresponding 2022 period, Lee said. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall, wishing you a pleasant evening.